focusing on them, rather I must just focus on what I'm doing right now. Try my best to get higher grades.
Okay.
January 1st. Control and choice. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with these choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to the choices that are my own. Epictetus. The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy is differentiating between what we can change and what we can't, what we have influence over and what we do not. A flight is delayed because of weather. No amount of yelling at an airline representative will end the storm. No amount of wishing will make you taller or shorter or born in a different country. No matter how hard you try, you can't make someone like you. And on top of that, time spent hurling yourself at those immovable objects is time not spent on things we can change. The recovery community practices something called the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Addicts cannot change the abuse they suffered in childhood. They cannot undo the choices they have made or the hurt they have caused, but they can change the future through the power they have in the present moment. They can control the choices they make.
Was that
right now.
as Epictetus said?
Yes, sir. As Epictetus said, they can control the choices they make right now. The same is true for us today. If we can focus on making clear what parts of our day are within our control and what parts are not, we will not only be happier, we will have a distinct advantage over other people who fail to realize they are fighting an unwinnable battle.
Okay, what is Epictetus saying in his quote?
Epictetus is saying that the chief task in life is that we need to identify matters which we cannot control and which we can control. And rather than trying to control the things we cannot control, we have to control the things we do control.
Then how about the explanation from Ryan Holiday?
Ryan Holiday here is saying is that it's mostly the same as Epictetus. However, he says that rather than wasting our time on trying to fight an unwinnable battle by trying to fight against things we cannot control, rather we must just make our choices in the present, because while we may not be able to change the past, we can change the future for that.
Okay, can you apply it to your life?
Yes, I can.
Oh, what? What are you doing? You're playing with your cell phone?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing then? Focus on what we're doing, right?
That's what I'm doing, Tatoy.
Okay, apply to your life what you have read. Sige nga. O the quote.
Rather than focusing on what I can control, Tatoy, I must focus on what
Rather
I can.
than focusing on what I can control, are you sure?
I said I can't control.
You
Tatoy.
can't control. You have to speak clearly.
I'll try my best to speak clearly.
Okay.
You must learn to. I must try my best to focus on what I can control, not what I cannot control.
Okay. Meaning to say,
Rather than focusing on what happened in the past, or rather on focusing on things that I cannot control like other people, I must focus on what I can do in the present moment.
can you give a more concrete, a more specific example of that?
For example, my classmates won't stop being noisy. Rather than
Your
focusing
classmates won't stop being noisy.
rather than focusing on them, rather I must just focus on what I'm doing right now. Try my best to get higher grades.
Okay. So, can you control your classmates' actions?
No, I can't.
You can't, right? So it's easy to know that. But what can you control in that situation?
My actions in the present moment.
Your actions in the present. Good. So instead of focusing on what you cannot control, in that case, the actions of your classmates, you will focus on what? Studying, maybe reading, doing the assignment, right?
Yes.
Give it like you mean it.